What's going on, guys? I'm Bill and welcome to Bill's How To. Today I'm going to show you guys how to transform a boring wall like this into this using timber floorboards. Let's do this. So this is what the room looks like beforehand, guys. As you can tell, it's got the alphabet up on there. He's actually outgrown it, believe it or not. He's learnt every single one of those alphabets, so good on you, Noah. Next thing we got to do is to simply remove all these fixtures that are on the wall, remove the heater, and I'm also going to be removing the baseboard or skirting trim, whatever it is that you want to call it. This one here is the original. It's probably about 20 years old, so it's just a regular old ugly bullnose trim, and it's also black, so I don't like the black, so we're going with a nice new baseboard or nice new trim all the way around. It's going to be in white, so there you go. So it's time for all of these to go as well. That's perfect timing. One of the upsides about the floorboards, as we put them up on the wall, you'll notice that there's no prep work in terms of what you have to do to get the wall ready. So all these little holes and the double-sided tape that's on all this alphabet, so that's all coming off now. As you can see, it's still got double-sided tape, so rather than having to take all this off, sand it back and then repaint it, I'm going to simply be able to cover this whole wall with a nice feature, and that's going to be, oh yeah, one awesome thing I just want to show you guys. Check that out. Oh, that's where his planes went. So yeah, anyway, so what we're going to do is I'm going to remove all of this, remove the trim, and then I'll see you guys straight after that, and then we'll get straight into putting up this floorboarding. Let's do this. So now that I've got all my trim complete and everything off the wall, there's no prep work needed for the wall, so it's staying as is with the holes in the wall and everything. That's the whole benefit of using some sort of flooring over your wall. You're going to get to hide a lot out of it. Now with this flooring, what I've picked here is a 7mm laminate flooring. It's one of the cheapest ones that I could find, and the upside about that is that number one, it's 7mm, so it's going to sit nice and flush up against the wall. It's not a durable type of flooring, so it's not recommended for high traffic areas, which are usually on the floor. In this case, we're using it on the wall, so traffic is not going to be an issue whatsoever. And this is a really easy flooring to put together. So it's a simple clip-in process that'll sit in from the back, which I'm going to show you guys how to do up against the wall. And now that we've got all that ready, it's simply time to start cutting and installing. Let's do this. Alright, so I'm going to start off on the left hand side of the wall. I'm going to be working my way across, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to stagger it. So I'm going to have a full piece, half piece, and then I'm going to start again half piece, full piece, and stagger it all the way up. So the whole way up will be one full piece and half piece, one full piece, half piece. That'll give it the maximum strength up against the wall. And if we have a look, now you've got the tongue and the groove, okay, on either side. So you have to choose which side you want to sit actually up against your trim. So what I've decided to do is to put my side like this so that I get the maximum coverage down the bottom. So that means that I'm going to have a tongue on the left hand side that's actually going to need to be cut. So this whole tongue here, because it's going to be sitting up against the wall like this, we just want to knock this tongue off. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut that off with a utility knife. Okay, just trim that edge right off, and I'll show you guys how I do that. Then I'll be able to install my first piece. So what you want to do is take a nice sharp blade and just cut that tongue off. Okay, I know you're not supposed to take the blade towards yourself. However, this is the most comfortable angle right now. So just keep going until you cut right through.
Oh no, you cut it back. You cut it back.
Once that's done, you'll have a nice clean edge. If not, you can just scrape off any of that excess like I'm doing right now. So the way I'll be installing these floorboards to the wall is by using a brad nail gun and also some sort of adhesive. So the brad nail gun will be used to shoot the plank straight through into the timber, so right into the stud all the way up. Now as you can see, there's black sticky tape up on the top, also down on the bottom. I've marked out my stud lines. The way I found my studs was the old knock test, so hollow, and you can hear the stud right there, so you can hear the difference, and that's the way I found my stud marks. So in terms of adhesive, I don't want something too rigid, so I'm not using a construction adhesive or something that's not going to provide enough flex on the wall. What I'm using is just simple silicone. Nice and easy, it'll stick, it's cheap, and it's very flexible. So this will also come off easy if I did ever want to remove the floorboards. Now that we've got that ready to go, time to install our first board. So once you're ready to install your first board, just a single bead of silicone all the way through. We don't want to put too much on there. just an S shape like that. We'll get maximum adhesion. And then once you're ready, you can line that into the corner. Always check for level, especially on your first board. That's sitting perfect. Once that's in, now we're able to nail in your first location. So to get your next piece in, you want to put it in on a 45-degree angle and then just wedge that back into place. Once that's in, you can then line it up, making sure your joint's nice and tight. If it's not, just move it across, or you can give it a tap from the other side. Once again, we can check for level. That's perfect. And now we're left with our little offcut. So when it comes time for your measurement for your offcut piece, you have to factor in the tongue side. So remembering that this little tongue here slots against or underneath the other board that's next to it. Okay, so you want to take that out of the equation. So the best way to measure it is measure it straight from the end that actually butts up to your new piece. So the way we're going to be doing this, also I'm going to be going hard up against the trim. A lot of people might have molding or other kind of skirting that's going to be going up against this, or the scotia that actually comes with the flooring. In my case, what I'll be doing is going as hard up against this as I can, and then I'll be filling this up with caulking later on. So getting as close in as possible, okay, just right up from the edge, straight up onto the other side. So I've got 635. So that's my measurement for my offcut, remembering to cut it on the right side, okay, which is the side that I've got the actual tongue on. So 635 is my measurement. I'll just head off and go cut that piece now. So once again with the silicone, and then remembering with the side pieces, they come in on a 45-degree angle, so like that. And then once you've got it lined up, you want to swing it across. Now I've got the first row complete. I can now start back on the right hand side, that way I'll get my full piece going all the way across and leave my measurement to be cut last. So when it comes time for your final piece, it might not be a full piece. Actually, more than likely, it won't be a full piece. So in my case, almost half the size. So I'm gonna have to take this measurement and also cut the board in half or in whatever measurement is needed. Same way as we have on the side, just making sure to take into account the tongue, making sure that we're not including that tongue because there's an overlap there. So that's about it, guys. So that's the last panel ready to go. I'll just cut that up and get that ready to go. So once that's done, like I said in my case, I'm not putting any kind of skirting or timber or scotia or anything up along the side. What I'll be doing is just filling that in with the no more gaps. So filling in the gaps is really easy using any kind of caulking or gap filler, silicone, anything like that. I've got a video in the description below that you guys can check out if you wanted to learn exactly the easiest way how to fill in all these gaps. So after a few more additions to the feature wall, this is now the finished product. I'm very, very happy with the results. It took me about 3 to 4 hours to complete and just under $200. So this is an awesome project that anybody out there can do. Get out there and give it a go, guys. If you get stuck, I'm more than happy to help you guys. Put it in the comment section below if you have any questions or anything else you'd like to see or learn how to do around the house. As always, like, comment and subscribe. Until next time, I'm Bill. Thanks for watching Billshowto.